There are many countries in the world today. Some of them consider themselves representatives of ancient civilizations. So which are the oldest countries in the world? We gathered together the oldest countries of the world, from the Iranian Empire to the millennial countries in Europe. Many historians believe that Ethiopia is one of the oldest countries in the world. Thanks to unearthed skeletal fragments, we know that human life has existed in Ethiopia for millions of years. It is generally accepted that Ethiopia became a country in 980 BC. This period was when one of the first kingdoms, known as the Kingdom of Damit, DMT, rose to power. Ethiopia is one of the few African countries that never fell into colonial hands, except when it was occupied for several years under Italian dictator Mussolini in the 1930s. The country of Greece, which dates back to the ancient Greek times, remained under the rule of the Greeks for at least 5,000 to 6,000 years. It is known that the Greeks taught the world revolutionary concepts and laid the foundations of modern Western civilization. However, since the concepts of civilization and country are separate things, it is possible to start the history of Greece from the Roman Empire. Portugal has guarded its borders for almost a millennium, making it one of the most identifiable, oldest countries in the world. Portugal's borders were defined in AD 1139, meaning it is officially the oldest country in Europe. Before the country took the name Portugal, the region had passed through the hands of many empires and civilizations. Its capital, Lisbon, is much older than Rome. Japan is also a candidate to be one of the oldest countries in the world. Said to be a descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu, the first Japanese emperor ascended the throne in 660 BC, according to Japanese legend. Although the reality basis of the legend is unknown, the first country of Japan began appearing in Chinese literature in 300 AD. So believe this myth or not, Japan has definitely been around for a very long time. The country has passed through the hands of several dynasties and emperors and is currently under the rule of the 126th emperor, Naruhito, who took office on May 1, 2019. If you're lucky enough to visit Japan, it will take you on a journey back in time. As with Greece and the ancient Greeks, modern-day Egypt is a different region than it was in ancient Egypt. The region remained under Egyptian rule for millennia, and the origins of Egyptian culture can be traced back to 6000 BC. Egyptian hieroglyphs were the second oldest writing system in the world, and the first Egyptian kingdom was founded in the 4th century BC. The region has passed through the hands of various empires over the years, such as the Persian Empire and the Ottoman Empire, and the country was conquered by the Arabs in the 9th and 10th century BC and has remained a Muslim country ever since. China is one of the oldest and most refined civilizations in the world, and the first dynasty, the Xia dynasty, is said to have ruled from 2070 BC to 1600 BC. While it is difficult to determine exactly when the first Chinese dynasty arose, written records only came from the empire after 1600 BC. Recent archaeological discoveries show that the dates are correct and one of the oldest in the world. Known to be one of the smallest countries in Europe, San Marino is also one of the oldest countries in the world. The country was founded in 301 AD by its founder, who fled persecution because he was a Christian. The country acts as a microstate and is completely surrounded by Italy. After surviving for centuries as a republican state, San Marino wrote its official constitution, believed to be the oldest in the world, in AD 1600. The ancient country of Iran has been around for a very long time. Historians state that the country was founded in 550 BC, under the Achaemenid Empire. The Persian Empire was founded after 550 BC, and the country has passed through the hands of different rulers and empires over the years. Present-day Iran was known as the Land of Persia or the Persian Empire until the 1930s, when its name was officially changed. The settled life in the Indian subcontinent has been going on for about 5,000 to 6,000 years. The people of these lands came together to form a civilization, and the year was around 1500 BC when they founded the Vedic civilization, which laid the foundations of Hinduism. Over the next millennium, different dynasties ruled the country, and in 1947 modern-day India was formed, when the country gained its independence from the British Empire. While France is not as old as some of the countries on this list, it has a long history. Historians trace the foundation of France back to the 5th century, when King Clovis came to the throne. At that time and in the centuries that followed, the country dominated much of Europe,